What happened? What's this icky paint-like goop? It's moving!
Now, boys, don't touch that stuff.
Excuse me, but... Huh?
I am most concerned with the well-being of the princess in this dreadful heat. Master Mario, if you would, cross over to that shore and find some assistance.
Power-up complete. Thank you for purchasing this item from GAD Science Incorporated. Preparing to register customer information. Scanning and classifying subject data. Subject identified as Mario, resident of the Mushroom Kingdom. Data storage complete. I am Flood, a flash liquidizer ultra-dowsing device. I hope to be of assistance. Proceeding with user instruction. Use the R button to shoot water from my tank. If you press the R button all the way down, you can stop and shoot. You can then use the control stick to aim in any direction. Press the X button to switch to the hover nozzle. You can then press the R button to hover in the air for a short time. If this tank is empty, no water can be sprayed. To refill tank, enter a body of water and press the R button. Instructions complete. Proceed.
Quite an unusual device. Is it some sort of pump?
I am Flood. Glad to meet you. Hey, someone's coming!
Court is now in session.
As you are no doubt aware, someone has been senselessly defacing Fair Isle Delfino using some paint-like substance. The accused is charged with polluting our beautiful home, and yes, endangering our very way of life. Indeed, how can one not be aware of what is going on? Though it is daytime in Delfino Plaza, our poor residents tremble beneath a veil of darkness. Expert Shine scholars have determined that this darkness has arisen because all of our guardians, the Shine Sprites, have vanished from their gathering spot at the Shine Gate. The reason? It's quite obvious. This horrible graffiti is to blame. Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based on eyewitness descriptions. The truth is obvious. The guilty party sits among us. It is none other than Mario.
Objection!
Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged. I hereby order the defendant to clean this entire island. Until Isle Delfino is completely free of his vile handiwork, Mario shall not be allowed to leave. Court adjourned.
This appears to be quite a predicament, Mario. Data analysis verifies that the island's inhabitants are indeed troubled by pollution, but the pollution itself is not the main problem. Mario, you witnessed this object at the airstrip, correct? It is a shine sprite. Shine sprites are the source of power on Isle Delfino. They used to gather in great numbers at the Shine Gate, but the graffiti incident has polluted the island and most of the shine sprites have fled. There is no longer any power to support the peaceful lifestyle of the islanders. It is most pitiable. The only way to ensure the return of the shine sprites is to keep the island from becoming any dirtier. The perpetrator is likely at work even as we speak. And you, Mario, are being treated as a criminal. Tomorrow we must do our best to resolve this situation.
Go straight that way. You can't miss the mess now. Your first job's to get rid of all that ugliness. And remember, we'll be watching you, pal. We'll know if you start slacking off.
Princess, look! On the statue's head!
Mario? Mario. Mario.
Hello, my name is Blood, and I am joining in a little bit late on this race, but this is quite a good one. It is a part of the main bracket, so I thought I'd hop in for the late game, or the mid game as we are in right now, actually. But yeah, I wanted to check out these runners, see what they can, you know, what they can provide to us. And so far it's looking to be a pretty close race between ShadowFrost and MLarvitar. Both players of respectable skill, and ShadowFrost is in Rico 2 and MLarvitar is in Rico 4, I believe. Maybe Rico 5 even. So MLarvitar is still a few levels ahead. But anything can change, anything can change. And ShadowFrost cleaning up. Rico 2, just like that. Beautiful. Getting the Shine Sprite. And MLarvitar starting up on the blooper fight. It's looking good. It's looking good. ShadowFrost is about to head into Rico 3. Now, most of the levels of Rico are actually not too difficult in general. They're usually not levels that kill your runs, so to speak. But the movement in Rico is surprisingly difficult. There's a lot of really hard things you can do in Rico Harbor. So it's definitely not something you should sleep on. It's definitely very technical, has a lot of different and difficult tech, for sure. Of course, Rico 4 is one of those levels, a secret that is always scary to go for, and you can die pretty easily there. But most levels, not too bad. Really depends on the level that you're playing at, of course, as well, but both MLarvitar and ShadowFrost shouldn't have too much trouble in general with Rico, but it kind of depends. There is always, you know, a level like this, Rico 6. You can definitely die here. This level is very scary sometimes, because if you go into a wall or, you know, one of the floating objects in the water with your blooper, then you're dead. And dying in Rico 6 loses a lot of time, because you get exited out of the level. Whereas if you lose, you know, or like if you die in a secret, it usually doesn't matter too much, because then you can just, you know, start over the secret. Let's see here what ShadowFrost goes for. I think ShadowFrost's gonna go for yellow cycle, not completely sure. Looking a little bit on the sketch, but yeah, he's going for the yellow cycle. Not bad, not bad. And yeah, MLarvitar got a pretty clean Rico 6. They're doing alright, they're doing alright. Larvitar heading into Rico 7, about to finish up mid-game and head on over to late game. You usually call Pina and Rico the mid-game, and for an example, the early game is, you know, Bianco, Gelato, Pianta. And then late game is the ending of Bianco, so technically you don't really finish Bianco in early game. You actually finish it as kind of the start of late game, so, you know, after Larvitar is done here with Rico, he's gonna go into Bianco, finish up that world, because he still hasn't done Bianco 6 and 7. And yeah, after that, you go into Serena, and then you finish up with Nuki and Corona. And that's the late game. ShadowFrost going in for the blooper. And Larvitar going in for Nuki, excuse me, Bianco 6. Looking at the runners, both seem to have pretty respectable move. That hurts. That hurts. I've done something similar to what MLarvitar just did once, and it's painful. It's really painful to fall down there. It's not something that happens often, and is in general pretty easily avoidable. But man, it always stings when you see that. See how he so MLarvitar went there for a momentum spin on the cube. That momentum spin is really tricky. Personally, I don't go for it. I just haven't really bothered learning that momentum spin, so it was never that interesting to me, but also because of the fact that that momentum spin is very difficult. So, you know, kudos to Larvitar for going for it. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard. Definitely one of the hardest momentum spins in the game. Let's see here. ShadowFrost doing the reverse blooper route. Maybe it's called the regular route. I don't even know. I actually don't know. But it's the normal route, the route that is most commonly used by runners. There is a faster route though. It saves about a second, I believe, maybe 2. But yeah, that route is a little bit harder. And for me personally, Rico 6 is just that kind of level where I just want to get it over with, clean, and not have the risk of dying. Because yeah, dying in that level, it can happen, and it sucks. If you do, then you lose a good portion of your time save, and if you do that, then your run might be over, depending on your skill level. Shadow Mario's... Ooh, he went for the quick kill there on Shadow Mario. Impressive, impressive. Got it too. And ShadowFrost finishing up Rico. Both collecting their respective shines for the Shadow Mario, so they have just bested. But yeah, a little bit more detail on these two runners. MLarvitar and ShadowFrost are both relatively experienced runners. They have both ran the game for a long time. I think MLarvitar has ran the game for a really long time. With some inactivities in between. But I'm pretty sure MLarvitar has ran the game for a very long time. ShadowFrost I'm not completely sure about, but he's been around for a while, for sure. I believe ShadowFrost's main focus isn't really Sunshine at the moment. So I do believe he's a little bit rusty, but ShadowFrost kind of speedruns a lot of different games, so I understand that it's hard to maintain, you know, your level of skill that you might have peaked at before, which is fully understandable, of course. Speedrunning is hard, especially at a high level like this. You gotta keep playing the game. You don't have to play the game too much, but you have to keep continuously playing it. You have to, you know, make sure that your muscle memory stays fresh. And MLarvitar entering Manta, aka the Sea Pancake. I've heard abysmal rumors of people calling the Manta fight Fanta Manta, but little known fact, it is not the true way of defining the Manta. It's just not. It is the Sea Pancake, my dudes. So I hope that you all remember this from now on. Never say Fanta Manta ever again. Always say Sea Pancake, because, you know, that's what it is. It's a Sea Pancake, and it's a way better word, way cooler, you know, way more fun. And we're all about having fun, you know. We're Sunshine runners, or Sunshine running viewers, you know. So Sea Pancake from now on, my dudes. From now on, it's the Sea Pancake. And yeah, ShadowFrost going on here to unlock Serena as well. Getting on Yoshi, getting the pineapple, and boom. Looking good. Nice entry. Looks like MLarvitar is having some issues here with the Manta fight, however. Pretty sure he's lost a decent amount of time there. But yeah, Manta can be hard. There's also some RNG involved in this level. RNG kind of decides on whether the Mantas go in a specific direction, how they split, and stuff like that. So there's definitely a little bit of RNG involved, and especially because spam sprays are RNG, you know, it's RNG how the water spreads out when you do a spam spray, which is usually not too important, but when you're doing a bunch of spam sprays in a single shine, and you're relying on the accuracy of those spam sprays, then it definitely becomes an issue, or like something that affects the level. Let's see how ShadowFrost does. Looking pretty good. We can clean them up. So we grab the ledge there, but shouldn't be a big deal. I think he has one left there. Yup, not bad. That was a pretty clean first phase. Let's see if he can keep it up on the second phase, aka the pink phase. Look at all those beautiful small little sea pancakes. Oh, it makes me happy, dude. Seeing them evaporate like that, you know? Because as much as I love the small little sea pancakes, they need to die. They need to die. But yeah, this level is super satisfying to play. At least in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't like it, but because, you know, there's R&D and stuff like that in it. But, you know, just cleaning them up and, you know, hearing the sounds they make when they, you know, die, you know, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, not gonna lie. It's satisfying. Very satisfying. MLarvitar doing Serena. Oh, he messed up the momentum spin. He didn't get the maximum amount of momentum or that you usually want to get from a momentum spin, and thus didn't really make it the entire distance, resulting in a death, unfortunately, for MLarvitar. Closing up the gap a little bit. But yeah, ShadowFrost had a pretty respectable meta, not bad at all. Let's see here how MLarvitar does on his second attempt. There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I do believe that ShadowFrost is running on PAL, the master race. You know, I'm a big PAL fan myself. If anyone knows of me, then they should know that I'm a PAL runner, and PAL is actually a little bit better than JP, simply because of the fact that the difficulty is a little bit easier. It's like a little bit easier to play on PAL compared to JP, but in terms of speed, they're almost the same. It's very hard to say exactly the difference between the two, but yeah, they're very similar. MLarvitar going in for Serena 3, grabbing the banana. Bada do the banana split. Oh, messing up the wall kicks a little bit. Ah, the ground pound. The panic ground pound. ShadowFrost getting the shine. Good job, ShadowFrost. MLarvitar is jumping all around, giving a little tour of the hotel. I respect it, you know, sometimes we gotta have the hotel tours. I'm all up for it. Get some, you know, variety of the run. Show off the levels a little bit. Here we go, ShadowFrost is going in for Serena 3 as well. Oh, he went for the second banana. That's very interesting. Most runners go for the left banana there, simply because it's a little bit faster to grab that one. But ShadowFrost going against the trend, you know, proving himself to be a unique Sunshine runner, going, you know, against the flow. I respect it. I respect it. And MLarvitar doing Casino Skip, getting into the Serena 4 secret. Serena 6. No, Serena 4. Yeah, Serena 4. See what he goes for. Kind of strats here. Looking pretty basic so far, but you know, you can't really do much more advanced stuff there. I wonder if he will go for the momentum spin at the end. Let's find out. MLarvitar trying to get the extra life there for safety. Having a little bit of issue with it, so just skipping it. Does get a clean momentum spin though. Impressive, impressive. ShadowFrost also entering. Rico, I mean, Serena 4. Ooh! Yeah, baby! Look at that. Lampion. Now, most people don't do that. Most people tend to go against the wall and wall kick and hover from there. But some runners, some very woke runners, might I add, do what is known as the lamp jump. And yeah, I do it myself too. So you know, I'm very happy to see my boy ShadowFrost going for the lamp jump. The lamp jump is essentially the same speed, but to some runners it's a little bit harder. To me, it's easier, and that's why I do it. But it's also a little bit more swaggy, you know. That's one thing that, you know, truly matters when you're speedrunning. You gotta be swagging out. And Larvitar entering the dreaded King Boo. There's a lot of R&D in this shine, and it's not always kind to you, but most of the time, it's fine. As long as he doesn't get more than one extra cycle, then I'm sure Larvitar will be satisfied. But sometimes King Boo can be a real jerk and give you a bunch of extra cycles. It's always really sad when that happens. But he's starting off good, getting through right away. Ooh, that one landed like underneath King Boo. So yeah, Larvitar couldn't grab it. That's unfortunate. Because like if he would have went in for that pepper, then he would have actually like walked into King Boo and made him despawn for a little bit, which would have lost time on fort. But he didn't do that. He just, you know, took the other pepper, the smart thing to do. And yeah, ShadowFrost also starting up. These runners are really close right now. I believe they're about 1.5 minutes apart from each other. Something along those lines. Could be up towards 2 minutes. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it should be something like that. The route. I haven't really paid full attention to Larvitar's King Boo, but I do believe he at least had one extra. But I could be wrong on that. I think it was either 1 or 0 extras, so that's really good. Like 1 is average. If you get 1 extra cycle on King Boo, that's the average. But if you're a new runner, I see some people mess up King Boo thinking that they're getting extra cycles, which is not necessarily true, because you have to make sure that you're manipulating him properly, or like canceling cycles properly rather, because after you get a fruit cycle you will always get 1 non-fruit cycle, and if you cancel that one too early, then you gotta wait and get another non-fruit cycle. That's why you see the runners not immediately canceling if the first like non-fruit they get after fruit. Yeah, Larvitar going into Serena 6. Cleaning up the beach. Doing the janitor's job. As Mario does well. And I do believe ShadowFrost got 1 extra. Not too bad. And I do think Larvitar runs on JP though, and because Larvitar runs on JP, he has to clean a significant amount more of the goop compared to a runner on PAL like ShadowFrost. So yeah, Larvitar has to be more careful about picking his spots. I do think he runs on JP anyway. It could be that he also runs on PAL. They're both Europeans, but I'm not entirely sure. 214. That's pretty good for JP. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And yeah, so here we go. Here ShadowFrost is gonna save back some time because yeah, it's you need to clean. You don't need to clean as much goop here on PAL. But of course, it's still dependent on your skill. You can't just reliably save time over another runner. It's obviously still movement based and spam spray based. You gotta be on point. And yeah, there's actually a little bit of R&D here, simply because spam sprays are R&D. It's a very minimal factor to add in most of the time, but it does have a little bit of a difference making in it. And ShadowFrost getting a 216, so he saved 2 seconds over Larvi. More like 1.5 because the loading times are a little bit faster in JP. But yeah, you save time through PAL on specific levels, like this level, like Trina 6. That's like how it kind of evens out at the end. Same goes with, you know, EYD. You had fruit storage on EYD on PAL. And it's not only on PAL, you can do it on NTSCU as well, but NTSCU is on Fort. A little bit slow. And Larvi entering Noki Bay. Going in for Nuki 1, one of the hardest levels in the run to get, well, not necessarily a run killer for most people, but it is definitely very hard. It's hard to get a fast Nuki 1. That's where the difficulty lies. And ShadowFrost finishing up. Also prepared to take on Noki. Shoki Bay, as some may call it. Not myself, though. I'm a man of fine taste. So, I would never do such a thing. I just thought I'd mention it. Oh, wait! Did ShadowFrost forget something in Bianco? Maybe he forgot. Oh! He forgot the Shadow Mario. Oh no. Alright, so yeah. Usually you want to finish up Bianco 7 before entering Serena, but sometimes you forget. I've definitely done that a few times myself, and it happens on Fort. So yeah, he's actually a bit further behind than I initially thought. And Larvitar entering Nuki 2. Also a very movement heavy level. Just like Nuki 1, but not quite as difficult. But still, definitely not a breeze. Not a breeze at all. And the main difficulty in these shines is just to get like a very good time and go very quickly. That is where the difficulty in a lot of Nuki shines are. Just making sure you go as fast as possible, you know? It's definitely not easy. Let's see how ShadowFrost does. I think he went for a spin jump there, but he got a side flip instead. Definitely happened to me a few times as well. Looking like pretty basic strats on ShadowFrost then. And Larvitar just got the shine for Nuki 2. Can we take a second to appreciate the beautiful music that is in Nuki Bay, though? Sunshine in general has a pretty mediocre soundtrack, not gonna lie, but Nuki Bay, Now there is some good music in Nuki Bay. Not quite not very, you know, suspense, which one might want for, you know, the later part of the run, but it's a little bit on the calmer side for sure, but it's quite soothing, Maybe helps, you know, relieve some nerves and stuff like that. Who knows? Depends on how much you really pay attention to music and stuff like that, I guess. But I'm personally someone who really digs along with music. So having a good soundtrack is always a huge bonus for me. And unfortunately, Sunshine's soundtrack is pretty mediocre, but we have the, you know, superb movement in this game, so it's all good. It's all good. I can live with it, as I'm sure you all can too. And here we go, ShadowFrost going into Nuki 2 as well. And Larvitar getting the shine for Nuki 3. Nuki 3 is not free, though, because it's actually really hard to go fast in Nuki 3. It's not a very hard shine to just, you know, complete, but it definitely takes a lot of skill and optimization to get a fast Nuki free. You can really see like the difference between the real grown men and the boys when it comes to Nuki 3. It's quite difficult. Which goes to a lot of the Nuki levels, like Nuki 1 and Nuki 2 is a very good example as well, where you can see like the true difference in movement between runners. Of course, there's always, you know, the addition of strats and what strats you're doing, but that is also kind of equivalent to movement. Movement. Yeah, Larvitar going in for the eel. EMD. Let's hope we get to see one tooth here from MLarvitar. But no, you want to go for either 5 teeth or 6 teeth, usually. I don't know what Larvitar will go for. I'm assuming 5 teeth. I'm pretty sure both runners will go for 5 teeth cutscene skip. But I guess we'll have to find out. Oh, not quite cleaning the 5th teeth there. Oh, it's still not cleaned. Or is it? No, it isn't. What? Dude, that was weird. This is really weird. I am not quite 100% sure what's going on with this eel right now. It is confusing me a little bit. Oh. Unfortunately, not getting the cutscene skip. But yeah, that loses about 15 seconds. Not the end of the world. All you really want to make sure you don't do an eel is to not get eaten. That is, you know, just the most painful thing ever. Because then he goes all the way down, and you kind of get a little cutscene. But eel isn't such a bad guy. He will spit you out if he does eat you. So it's not like you instantly die. He will spit you out. He'll, you know, and I understand eel. It must be frustrating. His teeth is, you know, not in the best state. And it must hurt a lot. I feel for my boy eel, you know? Or as some people, or as a infamous past Sunshine Runner used to call him, the hippo. I don't know how he thinks that, you know, the eel looks like a hippo, but people think differently. Let's see how it goes for ShadowFrost. Looking good so far. And Larvitar doing the last Piantissimo race. Nice. Not bad. 5 teeth, no cutscene skip. Cutscene skip rather, not no cutscene skip. He got cutscene skip, so yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff to ShadowFrost. Good job. Trying to even it out a little bit, trying to catch up desperately. Nuki 6 is definitely going to be a decider in this race. We have 2 more difficult shines left, which is Nuki 6 and Corona. Those 2 shines can definitely go pretty wrong, so it's by no means over yet. You never know, Larvitar could mess up. He could also not mess up, and then he'd be looking pretty good for the remainder of the race. But who knows? We shall find out soon. At Twitch TV/SpeedGaming3. Thank you all for tuning in today. We're about to hit the limit, or the, not limit. English is hard sometimes, forgive me. How do I say this? The end. I'll just say the end of the race for now. I was looking for a more fancy word, but I'm an inbred European, so you know, I have issues speaking. It's hard. Going in. Larvitar about to go. Let's see how he does. I think Larvitar does Green Cycle. Green Cycle is really hard, but I do think that Larvitar goes for it. Let's see. Looking good so far. Yeah, that's definitely Green Cycle. Beautiful. Beautiful. See if he can keep it up. Very nice. Nice. That was a very, very solid Nuki 6 by Larvitar. Props to him. Very, very impressive. Green Cycle is very difficult, so good stuff, good stuff. So now it's looking rough. If Larvitar does not make any significant mistake, then he should definitely be looking good for this race to win. Definitely looking like he's gonna win at this rate. But there is still Corona and Bowser, so you never know. There are still things that could go wrong. And if ShadowFrost keeps it up, he could catch up. You never know. Let's see. I think ShadowFrost goes for Blue Cycle. I'm not entirely sure though, but I guess we'll find out. Blue Cycle is also pretty difficult. Ooh, goes for the triple jump. Yep, he's going for the Blue Cycle, which might mean we get to see the famous Pyro Kick. Oh, no, he messed up, so he's not going to make it for the Pyro Kick. So he's probably just going to back it up. Not bad though, not bad. Going on a little bit safe on the end. And Larvitar is in Corona. Ooh, I think he's going for fast strats. Is he going for fast Corona? Jesus Christ. I think he's going for fast Corona. Oh my god. He is. Beautiful. Wow, I had no clue Larvitar knew how to do fast Corona. That's like a top level strat usually. Larvitar is definitely good, but I had no clue he did that. Very impressive. He managed to pull it off clean too. Good stuff. Showing off some real high level strats here. And Larvitar is entering Bowser. Larvitar is looking stunning right now. He's definitely looking like he's gonna win. Very impressive performance over the last few levels from Larvitar. I am impressed. I am impressed. That was a very solid Corona. Let's see how the Bowser fight goes. And ShadowFrost is just about to enter Corona himself. We can't forget about him, you know? ShadowFrost is also in this race, my dudes. So show him some love. He's doing his best, and it's not over yet. You never know. Things can go wrong in Bowser. Quite surprising to me that Larvitar does fast Corona, but does not opt to go for the dives into the ground pounds. But it's only a minimal difference, and it is significantly harder to do consistently, so I respect it. I respect it. And here comes the last ground pound, and time for Larvitar, 122.59. Not bad at all. I'm sure Larvitar isn't super or like completely satisfied with his run. He definitely did do mistakes, but you know, that's speedrunning for you. But the late game, or like the end of the late game there for Larvitar was actually very good. So I am pretty sure he's at least satisfied with that part. Yeah, not bad at all. That was pretty impressive. Not gonna lie. Definitely showing some real potential over those last few levels. And here we go, ShadowFrost coming in as well. Pretty close race. They were not that far apart from each other at all.
Mario!
Let's see.
My family vacation.
And we're coming in for the end. We're coming in for the end, boys. It's about to be over. And yeah, one more platform to go for ShadowFrost. Let's see if he can get it. And here we go. Boom. Oh, the split isn't working. Oh, he split a little bit late there. So that was, I think, a 124.38, something along those lines. So yeah, ShadowFrost finishing a 124.38 and MLarvitar getting a 122.59. Good job to both runners. Definitely not bad at all. Respectable performances. For their level, I would say I should, like, Larvitar especially should definitely be satisfied. Same with ShadowFrost. Both of them actually did pretty good. They both did a fantastic job in this race, whether they are proud of it or not. Not bad, not bad.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Congrats on winning the race.
Mario,
Yeah,
was
thanks.
I assist-
That one
Oh.
was something.
The late game was really good. Like, the ending of your Noki and your Corona was very impressive. I was really impressed that you did fast Corona. That's very difficult, man. Good job.
I intended not to do it because I was like only 1.5 minutes ahead, I think, and for some reason I did the beginning movement and I thought that yeah, I could just go for it. I was surprised that I actually got it. I usually don't.
It's very hard. I was really like surprised that you managed to, you know, keep your cool through all that. But definitely impressive and not, you know, hitting the brakes even though you were so far ahead and still, you know, going for these hard strats, and green cycle as well in Nokia 6 was also good. But yeah, impressive. I know you had some earlier mistakes, or like earlier on in the run, you died in a few secrets, like, you know, Serena 2 and Rico. I don't remember if you, yeah Rico 4. But you know, the very ending looked pretty solid for the most part, though. Messed up a little bit on Eel, but you know.
Yeah, I didn't clean one of the teeth, the teeth correctly for the end. That kind of messed me up, and
yeah, that was really weird. I didn't really understand what was going on with that Eel. It was really confusing because that one teeth just never like went off. It's really weird.
yeah. Well, I think everything besides the very end game and the first part of Bianco was suboptimal, and I generally think that ShadowFrost should have won the race, but Europeans and EYG. That's the thing.
Yeah, EYG is rough, dude. It is pretty difficult. Can definitely be something that messes you up a bit, but either way, a high 122, not too bad for a race. I know that's definitely not something that you're satisfied with, for sure. And I know that you and I both know that you're capable of much more, but still, not too far off your PB. So
yeah, I think I always got a 122 or one time a 123 in the tournament, so
yeah,
this won't be enough for Yamata, but we will see.
Yeah. But if you do more of what you did in the late game, if you get more consistent, then I'm sure you can get some really good times. So good luck.
Yeah.
And also, hello to ShadowFrost.
Hello.
Hello. How are you feeling?
Bad. Because
Really?
I don't like EYG anymore. So,
Well, both of you had a pretty close race for the most part. You were not too many levels. You were usually not too many levels like apart from each other. It was usually like 1 or 2. And in Pianta, I believe, you were both pretty close. Actually, I think you were in the same level for the most part there.
okay, nice.
But yeah, I think both of you did a pretty respectable job considering, you know, your PBs and all. You can never, of course, you can get times that are better than your PB or very close to your PB, but that's very hard to do in a run environment, or race environment, rather. So good stuff to both of you.
Thanks. Yeah, unfortunate for Frost that, and for the Europeans that he's out now, but Yeah.
Yeah, a Euro team kill, unfortunately, but
Yeah.
we still have some really good Euros left, and I still think that both of you have done a fantastic job this race. But yeah, I think that is it, unless either of you has something to add.
Not
Do you have
really.
any shout outs or something you want to say?
Shout outs to Bloodwill for commentating!
Oh yeah?
Yeah, thanks for commentating mid-race.
Yeah. I went
That's
in
a
a little
fun
bit
time.
in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, glad that you found time to race this race. To commentate this race, I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the main bracket has a lot of really good races like this, so I definitely recommend all of you that are watching that you further check out the other races that will happen further on in the bracket. They should all be pretty high-level matches, just like this one. So there's some good sunshine to be had. And yeah, thank you everyone who watched, and I believe this will be it. And I will see you around, or we will see you around.
Yep. Follow my opponent ShadowFrost and Bloodway, who commentated.
Yeah, and MLarvitar. Yeah, MLarvitar. Peace.
Peace.